Does it also mean that you don't consider yourself to be part of some sort of a tradition, but of many traditions in a way?
Yes, absolutely. You know, if I feel like that as a person as well, you know, I think I wouldn't, I don't like to put labels on myself generally. So why would I want to do it to my music?
Is there much London on mirror writing?
Some, yeah, definitely. I think there's definitely some London sound in there. I've recorded all most of my vocals in London. And I think, you know, I was definitely inspired by dubstep and electronic music coming out of London, and the kind of the philosophy of dubstep as I understood it when I first heard of it, and the atmosphere and rhythm. So yeah, that was really exciting when, you know, hearing that music coming out of London and feeling like, and knowing it was from the city that I grew up in, especially, you know, Croydon and stuff, you know, where I went to college, you know, sort of unglamorous places. So yeah, that was definitely inspired by that.
That philosophy of dubstep you talked about, is that something you immediately got, that you immediately knew what it was about, or did someone really have to guide you through?
No, I think there was a sort of moodiness, a kind of a melancholy and a kind of a serious kind of meditative quality was something that I was really inspired by from the get-go with dubstep. And the fact that, you know, it was such a cool tempo, you know, that 140 BPM, and you could go, you know, double time or half time, and there'd still be so much rhythm in there and so much space and atmosphere. And you could lose yourself in the tunes. That was, yeah, really exciting.
Is there other electronic music which has that melancholic tone?
Yeah, I think there definitely is. I just think in England we sort of lean towards that kind of melancholy sound, but, you know, like minimal techno and stuff like this. There's definitely some, you know, on the sort of dubbier side of it.
Well, we started out with you being patient, or seemingly patient. How do you feel about the cycle of bringing out records, touring, bringing out a record, touring? Is that something you are willing to step into?
I'm sort of, yeah, I guess I'm sort of stepping into that now, in a way. I think it makes me really value my time, my free time. You have to really fight for time to make music. Recently I had a few days off and I did a remix for my friends, The Sound of Rum, which was really good. That felt great because we've been touring for such a long time. I hadn't really, even as a band, we don't have that much time to kind of get into a room and kind of work on it, you know, in a sort of direct manner. So I think, you know, I think the tour album thing is quite an artificial way of doing it. It doesn't reflect the way you feel as an artist. And I think it's getting a little bit more out of date, you know. I think, you know, I just make sure that I always have a look at the bookings that are coming in and make sure that it's not too hectic and that there's time to make music, you know. That's the most important thing.
Because for your debut record, often you have a lot of space because
exactly,
no one is expecting it. But as soon as you are someone people start expecting, you will bring out an album 2 years later or something.
Totally. And I think, you know, even that expectation, you know, piling it all on the idea of doing an album, I think it's what's so great about now is that you can just put tunes out, you know, when you make them, minutes after you make them. So to like box yourself into an area where you can only release albums, I think that doesn't seem, it's quite old-fashioned.
So that's not what you're going to do?
No, it's not what I plan to do. I'll see what happens, you know, I'm just stepping into it really, so I guess I'll work out how I feel. I might feel differently. I might feel like I want to put all my time into working on another grand opus or something, you know. But I doubt it. I think I want to keep releasing. That's why I think EPs are cool, and there seems to be people releasing a lot of EPs at the moment because songs often come in fours, or you know, a group of music comes in a set, and with an album sometimes you have to kind of fudge it together. So. I think, yeah, I've got a couple of ideas for EPs I'd like to do. I'm working on one at the moment.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks.